Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from from the outskirts here. It's the Gaming Saloon for March 8th, 2026. Visual Space 248 and ramp it up, Salon.
TGS, not TGSR.
I know. I realize that.
We get to talk dumb gaming news, not Sentai.
I mean, we get to the fun stuff at the end eventually.
And now we return you to the program.
It's unfortunately everything before then is just like, well, Microsoft decides to do a dumb decision. Sony is doing a decision, I will say.
An equally dumb decision.
Probably. Good news, and then bad news, and then meh news, and then who could have seen this coming news, and then the good news. So here's your preview, folks.
So I'm hearing a 1 foot hole, a 1 foot hole. Good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably on the triple there, but
Yeah.
and then good.
So yeah, before we get into any of that, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Really, not a whole lot. Trying to think if anything stands out, kind of deal.
Yeah. I needed a distraction last week, so I went and 100%ed Wario World. Okay, so you know how we were really happy with the game?
Uh-huh.
It kind of goes down a little bit from there.
I can see it.
The rest of the bosses don't quite live up to how that first boss was, to be honest. And that kind of sucks. Especially the final boss. The final boss is basically you hit these 5 crystals that release the little fairy guys we were collecting. They hit the boss one at a time, and then that stuns the boss after you're all 5 hit it, and then you power drive the boss, and then you watch and repeat that 8 times.
I mean, that don't sound horrible, but yeah, that's not.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Some of those sub areas were real mean on the back end. Not like bad, but like, ooh, you're asking a lot of me now for platforming. Like, I think the last technical sub area is a long, like, platforming maze, basically.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a maze, but like, because it's like basically one direction. But like, it's a lot of platforming with no checkpoints. Honestly, some of the sub areas could do with checkpoints.
Or just not be as long in general.
Basically. I mean, otherwise, I liked it well enough.
Did it change your score?
Not really. I think it like will change it relative to what it's tied to at the moment, but not like I'm dropping it a full point because that final boss was bleh. Like, nah. That was it. Basically, more served as like a tiebreaker. That I'll probably score it underneath whatever it's tied with right now.
Okay.
I think a second. I honestly think if they were to do this game again, give this game a sequel, they could do some really cool, fun things. Because I think when this game is at its best, it is basically embodying what I think Wario should be in a platformer game like this, which is you are on the offensive, you are attacking, you are not defending, you are not waiting. It is Wario time all the time. I need a door, I'm gonna grab an enemy and I'm gonna break the damn door open. I need through this fence, I'm literally gonna break the damn fence. Like, I think the game could really benefit from just embodying that in full. Like, just imagine, like, there's an enemy running at you. Instead of dodging it, what if you had the opportunity to catch that enemy and fucking suplex it? That's what I think a sequel of this game should do. It's like, yes, you can dodge it, or, hear me out, you catch it and you suplex the thing. That's what I think a Wario World 2 should be, and there's something good here. They just need to refine it, and I don't think that's happening 20 some odd years later.
No.
That's not happening.
We're not even going to get a remaster, let alone them do a sequel.
No, but it was cool. I also picked up Unicorn Overlord since it was $20 on the eShop. That's Vanillaware's newest title. Okay. How would you like a real-time tactics game that makes units complicated in a way that's kind of cool? I'm not sure how else I could, like, briefly describe that without going into detail. So
I'm not sure how much of an explanation that actually was to begin with, though.
Fair. So, Unicorn Overlord is an RTS with a lot of, like, how Fire Emblem handles its units kind of underneath to drive its numbers and stuff. Except a unit in that game is not a single person. A unit is up to, I assume by the end of the game, 6 people in a like 2x3 rectangle formation. So you basically have a front row and a back row. And then all these units have attacks and skills that proc or happen based off either it's your turn to attack or if you're being attacked, basically. So you're setting up, like, say, your main lord plus a healer, and you choose for them to either be, like, in line with each other, next to each other, diagonal of each other, however you wish it to be. And that determines, basically, if they can be attacked by certain enemies, how they do their abilities and stuff. There's basically an entire fucking system in how you set up units, and I haven't really engaged with it because I've just used a walkthrough that says, I just use this formation. I'm like, all right, cool. I am not in the mood to think about this right now. But it was really cool to do it. But otherwise, you're kind of moving around this big overworld map, going to either encounters, and the encounters are happening on the overworld. So however the overworld map is formatted, that's how the encounter is going to play out in terms of where stuff is. You're going to towns to, like, soup them up to get more stuff or buy stuff. But you do get named characters and named units. You can hire generic units, customize them a little bit visually and give them a name, and then they can sub in as, like, an extra of that unit that you might have a named version of, or for one you don't have yet. There's no permadeath. If a unit goes down, you just heal them up, and if they're down at the end of the fight, they just get back up. It's fine. It is Vanillaware's art style, which is always really good. The writing wise feels kind of in line with what you'd expect a Fire Emblem game to be, basically, of just like, you are the Lord in secret. You're trying to get your country back from the bad guy. You have a fancy ring that basically cures the brainwashing the bad guy did on everybody. We're not doing anything complicated here. But I really enjoyed the few hours I've put into it. I've been wanting to pick it up for a while, and it was like, hey, here it is for $20. And I go, perfect. because I think it's normally 40 to 60.
I think it's 60. I think that's what I saw
Okay.
on the eShop.
Yeah, it was like 20 for like last month, and I was like, do I pick it? I pick it up now. Might as well. It's going to be like the best price I can ever pick it up at. I don't know why it was just randomly $20, but I'm like, I will take it for $20. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The only downside of Vanillaware stuff is they don't put it on PC because they don't want to. That's basically the only ever justification they've given. I'm reminded of that every time one of the folks I follow is like, port 13 Sentinels to PC, damn it. And I'm like, oh yeah, they don't port to PC because they don't want to. Wasn't anything else besides that. I've been engrossed with Slay the Spire 2 stuff because it's like they went and took the co-op mode and then added on to it because they're like, here are multiplayer exclusive cards per class and generic that changes. Like, you can have a card that basically goes, my teammate does not get attacked, I get attacked. You redirect damage, or you can say, here, free card, go. They also added a timeline that kind of is like your progression of the game now. So what you'll do is whatever you accomplish for a run, if that unlocks the thing, it unlocks the thing on the timeline. And it gives you a little like background story detail for Slay the Spire, basically. And it'll also go, here's like 3 new artifacts that is in the pool for your runs, or 3 new cards, or unlocked a new thing, basically. But now it's on a timeline, basically. So now it's like, oh, I get a little story beat plus new stuff. And also you kind of like know what you need to do to unlock like whatever thing on the timeline there is. Which makes me incredibly go, oh God, if when they opened up the mod tools for this, if they're like, hey, not only did we open up the mod tools that were there for Slay the Spire 1, but here are the mod tools to add to, I guess, a timeline or the timeline in general. And also here's the multiplayer part. That scares me because I'm like, people are going to go buck wild on this. I can't wait for people just to be like, here is the reason Kiryu is in the Spire. Just to give you a progression to unlock Kiryu's stuff.
I'm sitting here thinking, okay, how long until an AP for it?
I am sure somebody is chomping at the bit, just be like, give me give me the tools, I will make it happen. Because like the only downside is that it's a different engine, because it's not running on Unity because of all the shit that happened with Unity.
I mean,
The Slay the Spire team went. The Slay the Spire team basically went, fuck that noise. We're gonna delay Slay the Spire 2. By the way, we're announcing now that we're making Slay the Spire 2 because of this. We have to delay the production of that to get the Slay the Spire 1 transfer over to another engine because fuck that bullshit. We ain't dealing with it. So we're also not making our game on Unity anymore. So yeah, I'm sure there's like a little bit of work to do to get that stuff up and running, but I cannot wait. I also can't wait to actually be able to pick up Slay the Spire 2, so I can spend hours actually playing the proper part of Slay the Spire 2, because even though I've put a lot of time in Slay the Spire, I have not played vanilla stuff from Slay the Spire that much in terms of the characters. I've mostly just been playing the modded characters because of when I picked the game up. So now I'd be forced to engage with the normal part of the game. But yeah, that's basically it. Anything else?
No.
All right, then. So Xbox announced that they're doing a new console called Project Helix. It will let you play Xbox and PC games, and it will lead in performance. Are you excited for this probably $1,000 thing?
Nope.
I love that with Xbox's new leadership, they've done a 180 on everything they've been trying to do for the last like 8 years because they're trying to salvage the brand, and I'm like, it is far too fucking late for that. I am sorry. You have damaged Xbox's brand, I think, beyond redemption. I don't think anyone is going to give this box a chance, especially if it is, like I said, $1,000, because it is not going to be cheap, especially because of everything going on at the moment when it comes to hard drives and RAM and all that.
Okay.
Steve.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Are they trying to reverse it?
They're acting like they want to reverse it.
Okay.
Because
sure. Said the device. Okay. Our new CEO said the device would lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games.
Yes.
And PC games.
Mm-hmm.
They're not turning around on it. They're still following that same pattern of that whole, if you've got a Windows, you can play it.
Yeah. They just want to make a big fancy box out of it instead of not make a box out of it, which, would probably save them money.
Yeah.
Because I believe Azur Sharma has also said, we're getting back to exclusives. And I'm like, so you're trying to put the genie back in the bottle, I see.
They
And
don't have exclusives.
Welcome to the problem.
And they can't have exclusives. They've made that a point.
I mean, it's hard to have exclusives when you don't make games to start with. It's kind of hard to do that when you can't make a video game to start with to have it be exclusive to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Good, Microsoft. Thanks. But yeah, look, Valve refuses to put a price tag on their fucking Steam machine, and they keep pushing out the date to reveal that. If Valve are afraid to put a price tag on their box, which is clearly going to be a lot, because if it wasn't, they would have told us this by now. If Valve is afraid of that, how much do you think this fucking thing's gonna cost? It is not gonna be reasonable. I am willing to bet you'll be able to pick up a PlayStation 5 for cheaper.
No, because Sony will announce the PS6.
You're right, and I hate that you're right because,
Because of the next article.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jason Schreier, the Devil's Bite actually brought this up in our chat this last week because Jason Schreier was like quoted in a podcast he was doing that's like, hey, this could be a thing, but I'm still looking into it, basically. And now he's actually put out a report saying, yeah, Sony is not going to port their single player exclusives to PC anymore. Their multiplayer stuff, i.e. Marathon, and then there was another example of that. I forgot what it was. Something else. That's still going to go to PC. But things like Ghost of Yotei, Wolverine, other stuff like that, that's not coming anymore.
Which that'll change. Because when they don't get the sales numbers that they want out of it, they'll be like, here, guns can have it too now.
Yeah. Because that is like the rough part that like I feel like Nintendo has figured out because they're like, hey, if we just put out enough, it doesn't matter if it's exclusive because it's all still money back to us.
And they diversify it enough.
Mm-hmm.
They make it worth, if you're interested in certain game modes and playstyles, they kind of make it worth it to buy their console. I can't say box because it's not really a box.
It's box shaped. That's close enough. It's box shaped.
It's not really a box, though. It's closer to a tablet.
Well, it sits in a box.
It sits in a box, but the box isn't needed.
But yeah, like they make their thing worthwhile, and also because they've have something that's at least somewhat modern, newer stuff's coming to it, like outside of their stuff. So it's like, hey, you want that new Resident Evil? You can buy it on ours, and you can even pick up the last two with it. Granted, they have the issue of the game keycard stuff at the moment, but that's partially not their fault. I say partially because I'm sure it's still their fault, but that's also some real world issues that are causing that. But like, that's why Nintendo can do exclusives and not worry about it, because it's like, yeah, they have a diverse lineup of games with developers. They put it out in a good pitch. That's like, yeah, I get something every couple months if I just buy on Nintendo. Whereas Sony and Microsoft, not so much. And that's a no good.
Yeah.
It also means, hey, guess who's not playing Wolverine? Me, because I don't have a PlayStation 5, nor do I desire to buy one.
Yep, same.
Like, I'm sorry, there is not enough on the PlayStation 5 to make me care.
Well, let's say stuff that I can only get on PS5 that I would probably end up buying. Wolverine.
Yep.
Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Astrobot.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it.
Yep. Like, I have no interest in either of the Ghost games, even though they look neat. I absolutely have no interest in Death Stranding of either variety, even if they are coming, even if the second one's coming to PC. It kind of seems neat, but I have not played the first one. But also, that's coming to PC. I played Horizon when they gave it out for free. I don't think I would want to play another one, because I didn't even stick with that one that long. Let's see, what else is on that list? It's a short list.
I'm just thinking in general, any of them for it.
Yeah. That Demon Souls remake.
No, never really cared for the Souls games.
Yeah. God of War, Sons of Sparta, the Metroidvania God of War that they made wrong, apparently.
God of War never really interested me.
So the trilogy remake's out. Sorrows.
No.
Look, there's 23 things on this list, and I'm like, I am already at the end of this, and I am skipping over things because I'm like, I'm sorry, neither one. I am interested in Neptunia game only because I desire to see what stupidity involves a Neptunia game. But I am not getting a PS5 to indulge that curiosity.
I have literally mentioned the two things that even would remotely, and I can't justify that kind of purchase.
Yep. I would rather take that money and...
If those games were given to me for free, with a PS5 at like half the cost of one, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But no.
I'd rather buy a Switch 2 or attempt to upgrade my PC. That is just how it is.
Yep.
But good news, we do have a date for Wolverine. September 15th. Hooray!
The
I kinda
shame that
wish they
6
would-
months after that, we still won't see a PC release.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would like show this game off more, but I'm also wondering if they haven't realized that a lot of people looked at those leaks and whatever they announce, people are just gonna go, oh yeah, I saw that already in the leaks. So they're like, what if we just wait until like a month out and then just blitz the marketing on this?
That's probably what they're aiming for.
Like, I went in deep on those leaks, so I am very familiar with what's in this game because, yeah, a lot is there.
I'm a little concerned that it's fixing to be a 1-2 punch on them for this, where it's going to be a case of they're basically saying, okay, we're not putting this on PC, so we're already going to kill some of ourselves there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to cause backlash for people to not want to buy it to begin with.
Yeah.
Even if they would have bought it on the PS5 to begin with. Just to make a point to Sony. Because that does happen.
Yeah. And
when that happens, Sony's going to take the wrong answer to that and quit making Marvel games.
they can't. They are contractually obligated unless they get out of the contract.
They can.
Yeah.
You make a crap enough game, then the contract will end up being nullified by the other party.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they would do.
Yeah. Just for reference, folks, there Insomniac at least is on the hook for 2 to 3 more X-Men games. Just to put that information out there. That is contractual obligation with Marvel on Insomniac's part in conjunction with Sony, but so they're on the hook to do more X-Men games. Whether or not Marvel is like, yeah, no, that one sucked. Meh. Or Sony's like, yeah, we need out of this contract. I just worry because like Spider-Man 2 felt like it didn't hit super well because of decisions they made, I think. And hopefully that doesn't bleed over to Wolverine. Because I feel like Insomniac could use in general win.
I feel like what happened with Spider-Man 2 is they had too many moving parts.
Yeah.
Because the first one and Miles both were good. It felt like with the second one, they tried to lean too hard into blending both of those together, and that's where the problem came in.
Yeah.
We should have had a Spider-Man 2 that was solely focused on Peter with everything going on with him, and then have a follow-up to Miles as a in-between game then.
Mm-hmm.
Them trying to combine it together, it didn't feel as fluid as the first one did.
Yeah, because all of the major symbiote stuff is basically the last, hour or two of that game.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, Venom's here for an hour.
It's one of those, it followed the pattern all the way through. The first one did. I'm not going to say it didn't. It just didn't land as hard because we were so split focused on point of view.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Miles basically gets nothing in that game besides, hey, you're the Spider-Man now. Congratulations. Also, here's your shit suit.
Yeah.
But Any other thoughts?
No.
All right. So back to the bad news. NetEase decided to not fund Negoshi Studio starting in May, which means that the development of Gang and Dragon, which is that studio's take on the Yakuza formula, because it's a lot of ex RGG devs, is halted. Basically, they would need another $44.4 million to complete the game.
Jeez.
And if they do not get it, they're basically shutting down. They're trying to seek funding elsewhere, but I am very much of the mindset of who is even capable of fronting $44.4 million for a not Yakuza game.
Yeah.
I'm afraid the options are slim, and of those options, anyone that would be, I don't think would want to, or that would not want to. Because we talked about this before we ended the pre-show, but Microsoft's not in a position to do this. They've spent too much money doing everything else they've done the last several years. They're not in a position to be like, here's another $44.4 million. Finish the game and we can put it on Game Pass. That's not happening.
Do not make money.
Nope. Sony has fucked themselves over trying to push it for live service stuff, and oops, they're not in a buying mood. Nintendo would not do this anyway because that's not their style, because they are intelligent in this regard, at least.
Or at least when they make terrible decisions, it's all internal.
Yeah, it doesn't cost people's fucking jobs. It just is stupid consumer-based decisions.
It's usually, why did we stick a gimmick on a franchise that we were trying to revive? I hate that that's the case more often than not, but it is.
Why can't we have a normal Star Fox game?
What's bad is I'm not even meaning that.
Yeah, no.
That's just the most egregious one of them.
Sega won't do it because why would they? They have Yakuza. And also the bridges might be burned there, so the Sega's out of the conversation.
Not to mention, I mean, Sega's also, still in that hole trying to pull their cash cow out of the pit that they love dunking him in.
Yeah. I've actually been listening to this Chaotix radio drama they've been putting on YouTube, and it's been really good.
Oh
It's
yeah,
basically
because
Team
they can do literally anything else pertaining to the Sonic franchise except for make good games. That part of it has just stopped.
You have a hard time figuring out how to make a Sonic game. We can figure out everything else about this franchise, but the video game part half the time. We sometimes forget how that works.
Half the time, I think most of the time since 06.
Yeah.
Literally, I think the only really decent... Well, no, the only good Sonic game has came from an outside source. Not even internal.
Yeah. Let's see. Capcom would not do this. That's not how they roll, and I don't think they would want to buy anyway.
I don't know if they could.
I mean, they're doing well for themselves, but I think
they've kind of stayed on the quiet side.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, I honestly don't know if they could without it kind of almost crippling them in the process.
Yeah.
Because usually your quiet ones are the ones just getting by.
Yeah. Of course, I'm also staring at them going, why won't you announce a new fucking Ace Attorney? God damn it. It cannot be that much money in time to make a new one of these.
I mean, truthfully, with an Ace Attorney game, the bulk of it is just the writing staff.
I know. That's where most of the time is. You can fart out an Ace Attorney game in like a year or two. Why can't we not get a new one off the backs of all of these fucking collections? Doing well. Is this how the Mega Man crew felt until they got their new one announced this year? Or not this year, last year?
Probably.
Is this how it feels to stare at all those collections coming out and go, why can't we get a new one?
Probably.
What are we doing? EA's in no position to do it because they've got bought by venture capitalists, so they're dead. Ubisoft's trying to restructure themselves into not being Ubisoft anymore. So that leaves what, Tencent? Would Tencent really be willing to do this?
Honestly, probably.
But did they have the money for it, considering didn't they fuck up that Saudi deal and that put them in the hole and they've been letting go of people?
I mean, yeah.
And I think the only major publisher left at that point is like what, Devolver, but they damn sure don't have $44 million.
I don't know, they might.
I would be shocked.
I don't think they would do it, but they might.
No, they seem like they have their heads on their shoulders, so I'm like, they would not endanger their entire business.
they seem like they have someone with a business head there.
Yeah.
So, some of the games are a little out there, so I don't know about saying head on shoulders kind of deal being fit for them. But
they're good with money. That's what matters right now. In this conversation, it matters if you're good with money. Unfortunately, a lot of our publishers, as we found out, are bad with money. So yeah, I don't think anyone is in a position to save this game. And by extension, the studio. So
Netflix.
God.
They keep wanting to dabble in gaming every so often. Maybe it's time for them to dabble in it again.
You say that, and now I'm like, would Amazon be willing to bite since they had that Yakuza show on there for a hot minute?
Ooh.
That no one liked?
Dang, they might,
But
actually.
But I feel like they want out because their big MMO thing, they shut that down. So I don't think they want in.
Yeah, but they've not fully pulled the plug on everything for the Twitch integration stuff of it.
Yeah.
They've downplayed it stupidly hard, but it's still there.
Yeah.
So they might.
So yeah, folks, it is bleak, to say the least.
It's bad when
Well,
it's probably coming into the TV aspect of it for this to even have a shot at continuing.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
No.
All right. You know how everyone loves Black Flag?
Yeah.
How everyone wanted a new version of that? But we got Skull and Bones instead. Hey, look, somebody at Ubisoft's listening because, hey, look, Black Flag remake dubbed Resync is coming soon. There's
I
also
wonder
still
how
a
they
mobile
can
game
screw this
development.
up.
God. Well, they have that. They have this. They have a one called Jade that's a mobile game with Tencent. They have Invictus, which is a multiplayer title that's still in development. They have Hex, which is another one.
So they
No
have
details.
nothing.
And apparently, I heard this, but I don't know if it's confirmed in any way or not. But Black Flag might be more in the current style of Assassin's Creed games instead of the style that it was originally. Do they not understand what people want? I don't think people want
Ubisoft's
Flag.
golden age has long since passed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think people want Black Flag, but remade like a newer Assassin's Creed game. They want Black Flag as it was, but just improved. That's what they want as a remake.
Follow up for that one.
Yeah. You know, something that isn't probably stupidly expensive to make. Why can't companies understand that they need to stop making the ideas that are like $500 billion and start making the ideas that are like 20 mil and don't take 6 years to make?
I don't know. Because there again, Nintendo understands this. We got the Galaxy 1 and 2 remakes. It was fresh coat of paint over top of it, so it was very quick turnaround and little money added to it.
Yep.
It's like almost like they know how to handle that.
One of the folks on the podcast I listen to basically talks about this as well. Just like, hey, it's hard for a franchise to be relevant right now because like you go 6 years in between entries basically, instead of, hey, here's a game and then a couple years later here's a spinoff, a couple years later here's a new game, and it's that kind of cycle. It's like, yeah, that's how Mario's relevant, because they just make a game for him every couple years.
Yeah,
or every year. Doesn't even have to be a new Mario game. It's just something with Mario on his face on there, and it's like, oh hey, people remember Mario.
I mean, heck, that's the same thing that kind of can be said with Sonic. Yeah, a lot of the games since 06 sucked, but what's the common thread? They were all out within a few years of each other.
At least you didn't go long after a bad one to be like, oh hey, look, a new one.
Maybe this one will be better. Nope. Until you get to Mania, then it's like, oh, hey, a new one. Maybe this one will be better. Oh God, why can't we have more?
Why can't we get these people to make another one?
Until they did Plus, and in my opinion, screwed up the Metal Sonic fight.
Yeah.
I like the OG Metal Sonic fight better.
Well, we have, I would say bad news, but I think we all saw this coming.
What? No. Surely
so
not.
Highguard's dead. It'll be officially put in the ground in like 3 days.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say it guarded a little too high and took an arrow to the knee.
Basically. They did talk about how there was like they were going to do a progression system and all this other stuff, and it's like, again, when it comes to live service games, you have to lead with your good stuff. Do not wait 2 to 3 months and put out the other stuff. No one will care about you then. Also, why are people blaming Jeff for this? Why are they blaming Jeff Keighley in the Game Awards for this?
I mean, I'm sure there's a reason.
I mean, Jeff puts too much stuff in his shows, and they're a little bit too bloated, and like you barely remember half of the stuff that are there. But like, it's not his fault this game failed. This game got 6 digits worth of people in its beta. Or not in its beta, at launch. It had over 100,000 people concurrent. And it didn't go well. That's not Jeff's fault. In fact, the only reason it got 100,000 people was because it was at the Game Awards and people had eyes on it. You know what would have happened if it was not at the Game Awards and they kept everything else the same?
I guess I can understand the other side of that, though. It was at the Game Awards, it got all that hype, and then it sucked.
Yeah.
Because clearly it sucked, otherwise it wouldn't have lost players like it had the plague or something.
I think it was less it sucked and more if it was just, it was too much and too complicated. So most people could not wrap their head around the game.
So it sucked.
Yeah. But in a different way.
Yeah, but I mean, we're dealing with the internet.
Yeah.
It's too complicated. It's a bad game. Not, it's too complicated. I need to learn how to play.
Like Air Ride was for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somehow one button game confuses us.
I don't even.
Hmm. But yeah, I just look at them and go like, yeah, do you know how many games like this die every year that weren't at like some sort of showcase and that you don't know about because you don't like pay deep enough attention to the industry to see them? Do I need to point at Rumbleverse? Did everyone forget about Rumbleverse? I'm pretty sure you forgot about Rumbleverse. That was by Epic. That died in 6 months. That wasn't at any showcase, I think. Like, this stuff is common. I guess, any other thoughts?
No.
All right, then. The good news. We had a Pokemon Presents for Pokemon Day. There's a live reaction on the YouTube if you so desire to watch that with me. It was certainly what I expected it to be.
It was certainly a thing.
Yep. So they did their usual mobile updates and stuff. I don't think this goes over any of that. Okay, it goes over some of that. But yeah, we'll cover the stuff we care about. So have you ever wanted a Game Boy shaped music player that plays music from original Red and Blue?
No. But at the same time, I'm like, that actually could be slightly interesting for a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. You can get a Game Boy, basically a jukebox that plays Red and Blue. You insert cartridges that plays the individual songs. I don't even know how much. They did not say how much this was, and I did look it up.
That was what my next question was going to be, was how much?
Oh, for fuck's sakes, let me just see the price. My God. And how would you like for $70?
I mean, that's not horrible. Yeah, that's not horrible.
Oh, I forgot to put this in. We had a leak for a new Pokemon Lego set. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's like a Pokeball shaped diorama that opens up, and it has like minifigures and Pokemon shaped figures. We don't have any pictures or anything. But let's see if I can get the so 2,239 pieces, minifigures and molded Pokemon, and it's a Pokeball that opens up to reveal a diorama interior. How much do you think this is?
Way too much.
How much do you think 260 is?
Not as bad as I was expecting.
Okay. Apparently it's slated for August 1st, so forgot about that. I'll throw that in there. Pokemon World Championships. will be in San Francisco this year, August 28th through the 30th. All sorts of competitions, including, for the first time ever, Pokemon Champions will be the main venue for the game side of things instead of Scarlet and Violet. Nothing for TCG. Pokemon Go's got its usual stuff. I'm just gonna skip past all the mobile stuff. Switch Online is getting Gale of Darkness first next month. But not Coliseum. I'm not sure why, but it is. So you can play that. There is
And
no
actually
Pokemon
in
Home
this month.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, this month. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is no Pokemon Home compatibility for this. So you cannot transfer your Pokemon, but you can transfer your Pokemon eventually with Fire Red and Leaf Green. I said this in my reaction.
So they are part of. They do
Yes.
have home integration then.
Eventually.
Then
Look,
I
asked
still
this question
feel like
during my
20 a
reaction.
piece feels a little too steep, but I'm also in the mindset of I can understand why they're 20 now.
Yeah. I asked this question. Why does it take months for us to get Pokemon Home integration? For every Pokemon game?
I think it's because of, honestly, how Scarlet and Violet ran so poorly kind of deal. I think it's because in the event of something like that happens where they've got to actually fix the base game first, they don't want to be having to fight it and home integration at the same time.
I guess, but like, why do these old ass Game Boy Advance games not have home integration day one? Why do we gotta wait?
I
isn't it not
don't
just
know
there?
why Fire Red and Leaf Green don't. Unless it's something... Because I would have to think it's using the GBA emulator that Nintendo's already using.
Yes. The only thing is, it's apparently a new revision of the ROM. It's a new ROM in general.
So maybe it's waiting on Nintendo to actually do that hook in the back end of the emulator then. Like this one I might can understand a little bit more than why didn't we get a mainstream Pokemon game with it day one kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because this one there might be more working parts in the back end that we don't see kind of deal.
Yeah. Pokemon Champions had a little trailer showcasing itself and then said it was out in April. It didn't really delve into Pokemon Champions, the game, at all. Because you know where all that information is?
Where?
On their website. Not in their presents, as I was informed in the Discord, because I was like, this game is out next month and is the core of the competitive scene for Pokemon going forward. Why did they not have a trailer talking about it? They had a trailer talking about Pokepedia that came out literally that week. Because, like, there's some important information here if you are, you know, a part of the competitive scene that you need to know going into this game. Because, again, this is the competitive Pokemon game going forward. So, there's a battle pass.
Yeah, of course.
There's a rotation in the seasonal format. They showed a graphic that it is Pokemon Home compatible-ish. So there's a new way for a Pokemon game to interact with Pokemon Home. Basically, you can not transfer your Pokemon, but you can mirror a Pokemon that you have into Champions from Home, but it will not go into Champions. You'll just get kind of a copy of it in Champions that cannot come back. And anything obtained in Champions cannot go into Home. So it stays in Champions.
That sounds extremely complicated for no reason other than it needed to be.
Yep. You can still recruit Pokemon in the game. There's like a trial recruitment and a permanent recruitment using victory points, which you get for battling. There is no single player content really. Or bot battles.
That.
There's not even bot battles, which I feel like would kind of be something I think a competitive crowd would like. Where you could set up your team and then set up an opposing team and then kind of like trial run a match. Just to throw that out there. Like like if you're going to trial run a matchup that you think you're going to face in a tournament, you would kind of want to like sim it out and see what the options are. But that doesn't seem to be a thing in this game.
I can kind of see both sides on that one.
Yeah. I don't think there's an EV or an IV system in this game. You just train the stats. So there's no other like underneath stat stuff. So it kind of simplifies things. You can change moves and abilities and stuff. They showed off NPCs for it and like, but yeah, that's the crux of what Champions is, because Pokemon decided not to talk to you about the game that is coming out in a month that you do have to pay for, because I do believe you have to pay like $20 or something for this game. Also, it's only coming to Switch at the moment. It will come to mobile later in April. Legend ZA gets Mega Garchomp Z. Yay! It's the one on the left for reference. If you're curious which of these Garchomps it is, it's the one on the left. The one on the right is the regular Mega Garchomp. Trailer talking about Pokemon Pokepedia. There's a Rotom that plays the old songs and stuff. And finally, Pokemon Winds and Waves. Gen 10 is here. It is a very water-filled environment with a bunch of islands and stuff. Our player characters have different outfits depending on the game, like starkly different outfits depending on the game, but it looks like they have hoverboards. That is probably how you get around, especially on the water. And then we have our starters. We have Rowlet, grass type, Pombom, the fire type, and then Gekwa, the water type. These are coming out next year for Switch 2 only. So, how are you feeling?
I don't know yet.
I love my dog child. If I could play this game, I would be getting dog child.
It's one of those that I've not really felt the urge for normal Pokemon kind of deal.
Fair.
So that might be why. But yeah.
Yeah, Scarlet Violet took a lot of the want to play a Pokemon game, because as I've been uploading stuff, we did a lot of not just Sword and Shield, but Sword and Shield raid stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we barely did anything for Scarlet and Violet. Like I ran through the game on stream, and that was the most you got.
I think I did a little bit with, but that was about it.
Yeah.
I
think we
did
touched-
finish it, and went into the extra area there, but I don't think we really did anything, and I did not touch the DLCs.
I haven't either. I think we co-op that area once for a stream, and that was it.
Yeah.
Which says a lot about how much Scarlet Violet just is like, yeah, no, we didn't feel Scarlet and Violet. Like it was I think it was like fine, but like between performance issues and I think just the format of the game, neither of one of us were on board.
I kind of feel like I need to go back into it with the Switch 2 and just see if you remove those performance issues, how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
I can't bring myself to do it though.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing that happened with ZA. I'm like, I just can't bring myself to do it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, ZA seems neat, but I'm like, I don't think this is what made Arceus really good, unfortunately. I think you missed the mark on why everyone liked Arceus. I think honestly, it would have been better if the idea I thought they were doing for ZA was what they went with, which was exploring a old version of Lumio City from the past, rather than here is Lumio City updated.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the legend.
They should have stuck with the Legends being the trip to the past mentality.
Yeah. Hell, I went a step further and said that, like, I think I put this in a comment in someone's video, that, like, Legends EA should be a throwback, like you diving into the history of Lumino City via a, like, VR setup that is using a diary of some sort as a means to create the city at the time. That way, you had a reason you couldn't go outside the city because the diary doesn't go outside the city. You're stuck in the city. But that diary, filling out those entries in the diary and experiencing those moments, was basically the Pokedex of that game. So you still had that filling out a Pokedex, but now you're going through this history of whoever wrote this journal. And you're maybe uncovering some lost mystery of Lumios from back then or whatever.
Yeah.
That would have been cooler instead of, hey, it's a battle tournament. Because to determine, hey, can we get somebody to unfuck the problem we made as a mega corporation? Oops.
Or even if they didn't want to lean into that, they could have made it an extension of Arceus kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to mention the vacationing Pikachu couple that's also in the trailer for Winds and Waves. They're here. I don't know what the point of them is. They just exist. Yeah, at least for Wind and Waves, I'm just like, I like my dog child. I love my stupid, dumb dog child that has no thought but treat on that brain. I love him. And I'm pretty sure the internet as a whole loves him. He's kind of the one that people have really bonded to, and I don't blame him, because I'm like, what are your other options? The not angry bird and the second water gecko. It's not quite the same as like Inteleon's line, but it's still a water gecko. Also, that's not me discouraging how the starters are formatted. I did that exact same thing for the Scarlet and Violet ones. Because that was Weed Cat, Bubble Bobble protagonist, the Lost McDuck member.
Yep.
And they all still turned out good, so like it's fine to boil down Pokemon designs to a single phrase. That's kind of how you're supposed to do them. They're simple designs so that kids can like recreate them really easily. I guess any of your thoughts on the Pokemon Presents?
No.
I am surprised no spin-off game announced, since we don't have a Pokemon game this year besides Champions, but I guess Champions is it.
I mean,
I'm the foolish one.
I would say spin-off side could also include remake, but we also technically are getting that because of Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Yep. I'm the fool who went, that new Pokemon Snap was pretty good. Can we have another one? Please? No? Did it do bad? Darn. I don't know if you ever bothered with that.
With which?
Hmm?
With what?
The new Pokemon Snap they did on Switch 1.
Nope.
Fair enough. It was actually pretty good. But it probably sold like shit because they didn't really push it that hard, so Anyway, shall we get to releases?
I guess we shall.
All right, then. We'll kick things off on the 10th with Ghost of Yotei Legends for PS5. That's the Ghost of Yotei multiplayer mode. Also, for the Virtual Boy emulator on Switch, you get Mario Clash and Mario's Tennis. And then on the GBA emulator, you get Mario vs. Donkey Kong Original.
Which I thought it was already there, so.
Honestly, I did too until I saw that. Until I'm like, wait, no, we've got the remake? Yeah, we've got the remake on there. Isn't there like a in-between version?
I think so.
I feel like there's a DS one somewhere between those two.
There's a 3DS one.
Okay.
That I know
That's probably
of.
what I'm thinking of.
Tipping Stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll go to on the 11th. Do you really know for the Switch?
No, I don't.
On the 12th, Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly remake for Xbox or Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2 game key card.
I think there should have probably been combined.
I probably should have just dropped. I think I've been dropping the Switch 2 one and just left the key card for Switch 2.
Which I guess technically you could do it in there as. I'll throw it in there. You could do it like. Something like that.
Yeah. I will. Copy that. Because there's a couple others down here that are like that.
That way it keeps having multiple ones in there.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Also on the 12th, it's John Carpenter's Toxic Commando for Series X PlayStation 5. On the 13th is a Fixa thing.
Oh, the Switch shovelware. Jesus.
Yeah.
I was looking at the
Marvel
rest
comes.
of the 12.
Also, I missed one again.
Whoops.
Heck, so we've got Technotopia for Xbox on Series X. I was trying to point out Marvel Cosmic Invasion for Series X, PlayStation 5, Switch, and Switch 2. I think that's the physical release of the game. Like, it's been out digital for a while now, but this will be a, hey, would you like a physical edition? It's through, I think, limited run. For as much as one can stand limited run, apparently, because they're not great on the back end. But Monster Hunter Series 3 Twisted Reflection is also out for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2 keycard. And WWE 2K26 for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2 keycard. I'm constantly surprised by the Monster Hunters because Capcom had a presents this week as well, but I didn't put it in because they didn't announce anything besides, hey, Pragmata's releasing a week early. Like they said they were going to talk about Mega Man over like Dual Drive. And I was like, yeah, hey, cool. And all they did was go, here's the finalists for that Design Your Robot Master competition they had. And here's the silhouettes of the Robot Masters that are in the game now. And that was it. And I was like, can you show me the video game? Like, this is cool and all, but where's the video game? Can I have a video game, please? No. Let's see. On the 16th, Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2 keycard. On the 17th, MLB The Show 26 for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch. Thomas and Friends Wonders of Sador for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. Also, I think on the 16th is the Seven Deadly Sins Origin for PS5. That's that Genshin Impact game, adjacent game that is Seven Deadly Sins, the anime, for some reason. On the 18th, Overthrown for Series X and PlayStation 5, because I missed that one. This is what I get for doing these half asleep. Defending Camelot for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. And Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun and Aiko's Choice for Switch 2. On the 20th, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition for Switch 2, but they apparently messed up all the up-resing on. Good job, guys.
One job, and you failed it.
Yeah, and like apparently they messed up the AI up-resing on that, so the textures look mushy. And I'm like, wow, why did you mess that up?
This is why we don't rely on AI. We use it and then we still double check.
You have a job. It's called make the game look better. You have people with eyes make sure the game actually looks better and not worse. Damn it. The AI has no eyes.
It's one of those, I'm not against the use of AI by no means, because if it's going to make it easier, then yes, use it. But use it as a tool. Don't use it as if you're trying to use it for someone doing all the work for you and expect it to work right. It's not going to do that.
It is not your computer savior. It will not solve all of your problems for you so that you can do nothing. That is not how this works. That is not how ever it is works. Have you not paid attention to any piece of media with AI in it? You work with AI. You use it as a tool in your belt. You do not let it do its shit on its own. That's where all the problems happen. Do you not learn? Do you not understand? Literally every time an AI like blows up the world in a piece of media is because it was left alone to do whatever it wanted.
Yep. It was told, make this look better. Not going to tell you how, just make it look better.
Oh, the world will be better without all the squishy people? Well, goodbye, squishy people. We have Cowboy Card on the 20th for Xbox One and Series X.
I love that we both actually laid eyes on that and was like, huh.
What is it? What is it?
Because I know you only read the ones off that you either think are funny or somehow have piqued your interest. And that completely did mine when I looked at that too. And I'm like, huh?
Oh, this is some bargain bin Mario Kart.
I figured as much.
Oh, it's cheap as fuck.
I figured as much.
Hang on, I have to grab. What's the best? This is like the best picture. Let's see if it goes into this court. There you go. There's a picture.
It's not even modern Mario Kart.
No.
Do I have one I can hijack for it? Yes, I can hijack. No, I cannot hijack that one. I can hijack that one. Yeah. No, I can't hijack that one because it's got to be a browser source because it's a link.
That's about to say, just throw. It's $10 on that on a Xbox's shop because that's where I got the picture from. No reviews. Darn.
I mean, it's not out yet.
I had hopes that someone would just throw something on there to pretend they played it. Someone get an advanced copy.
I mean, granted, it looks better than the old school Mario Karts did. So they took a little bit of time with it, but jeez. Anyhow.
I guess I forgot. Crimson Desert also comes out in Series X and PlayStation 5 on the 19th. That's one of those mega, I think, Chinese games or Korean games. Skill Up did a preview of it. It was like, this is a lot of a game. How would you like... It has a new form of how you do jumping in a video game that made me go, why? So you hold the button to basically put out a cursor that you move about to direct where you're going to land on a platform. And then you let go of that button and then you jump if the platform is valid. Or if the location is valid. This is a third-person action game for reference.
Huh.
I don't know why they've done this.
I mean, it sounds like it could be an interesting game mechanic.
From the footage I saw, it decided that areas that you clearly could jump on if the jumping was normal, you couldn't. So it feels a bit like a downgrade.
In that case, then yeah.
I'm like, that area is jumpable in any other video game besides this one, apparently. And I'm like, yeah, no, I think we learned the wrong lessons and tried to create a new mechanic without realizing why we had it the other way. Yeah, that's the releases. You can see the full list in the notes if you're on the YouTube down below. Any other thoughts?
No.
All right, in 2 weeks we'll be back to talk games again. I love that it was a thing in a Discord I saw where it's like Nintendo fans are bored, so they're making up leaks, and I'm like, wow, do people just like do that? Are they that desperate for a direct that they're making up non-existent Mario games?
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah. But that's not just Nintendo. That's everyone.
Fair. Yeah.
But I mean,
love that
you know, there might be a Nintendo Direct that isn't related to Mario Brothers movie within the next 2 weeks.
Yes, maybe. I feel like that's saying that off enough just because it's like, there might be a direct. I don't know. They announced those within announce those and give us 24 hours notice. So I might as well just put the claim out there of just like, there might be one. Who knows?
It honestly wouldn't surprise me though, since it's going to be early morning for them on Mario Day, if we don't also get a direct later that day too.
Didn't we get a direct not long after the first Mario Galaxy Direct we did?
Either after or before. I know it was close.
Yeah.
I know they were close together.
Nintendo Direct Wiki, do you have those listed? If I go to the correct year, maybe.
But it wouldn't surprise me if we had 2 in the same day just because of the fact of, you know, it is Mario Day.
We had one 4 days later, but I think it was a Tomodachi Direct. Let me check. Yeah, they just had a Tomodachi Direct like 4 days later after that first Galaxy Direct, so maybe?
See, I for one am kind of getting a little aggravated on the we're only going to do per game direct.
Yeah.
It's one of those, that's fine, but that's not a direct, that's a showcase at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Quit calling it a direct.
They need to call it like a deep Nintendo deep dive or Nintendo
Or
something.
a Nintendo Treehouse. It's a shame they didn't have that they could throw into stuff like this like they used to do.
They actually had one of those. It was last week, I think.
Yeah.
Randomly.
It's like, okay, guys, you know you still got this. That was your thing for the individual games. Use it.
I think the problem is the people they had running that are not there anymore.
Then get new people. Or here's a novel concept. You're already doing the directs, as you're calling them, for the individual game. Change the name of it.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Mm-hmm. But I guess this is as a note. We had a partner showcase on February 5th after the Tomodachi one. Then this Pokemon Presents on the 27th. Then an Indie World was also this week on the 3rd. And then the Mario Direct is tomorrow. Or the Mario Galaxy movie Direct is tomorrow. Let me specify.
Yeah, that's the thing that, like I said, that's getting old by having the individual direct. The movie ones I get.
Mm-hmm.
That's a completely different side of the company, so yeah, do that. But we didn't need a Bonanza Direct. We didn't need a Tomodachi Direct. Those could have just as easily just been simple showcases and been done with it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me though if we don't get, like I said, 2 directs on Mario Day.
Yeah. I would like a new Nintendo Direct, but I would also like one that was like, here's new information on Fortune's Weave, so I can be the person that cares about the new Fire Emblem game. Because I'm like, okay, you tease us with things about that Fire Emblem game. I want more. Damn it.
While I say I wouldn't be surprised if we got 2 that day on the same day, I would not expect either of them to have anything that wasn't Mario related.
I know. Because also people are like, isn't it Zelda's anniversary this year? Where is new Zelda information? And I go, yeah, where you would think the new Zelda would be like somewhere in a conversation right now.
You would think.
Especially since they also have that movie that they are filming and should be, I don't know, done with at some point or done enough
Mario's
with.
always
the trailer.
overshadowed everyone else, though.
Right.
And I believe, isn't it the 40th for Mario?
Good question. Yes.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
no. You can hang up any Zelda stuff then.
Yeah, not until they're done with the Mario anniversary stuff.
Yeah.
Then we'll do Zelda anniversary stuff. And then maybe I'll get my new Fire Emblem information. Since you're
Maybe.
like, we're stepping back into the world of three houses. And I'm like, oh, good. I can't wait for people to bang on about their drama with the Fire Emblem. And I just want a new game, damn it. But yeah, in 2 weeks, maybe we'll have new stuff. We'll see. But between now and then, Thursday, we're chipping away at the Kiva Kami some more. I get to design wings for the first time. That will be fun. Friday will be... Oh God, what are we doing Friday? Shoot.
Not gonna
I know
lie,
we're in
I
the line.
forgot to.
I was like, we're in a stretch of good stuff. I remember that much.
It's not F-Zero, is it?
It is, but also
Oh.
Pokemon Channel.
I was gonna say, I know there was one in between. Hold on.
Yeah, it is Pokemon Channel and F-Zero GX because I honestly don't think there's a lot to that game. I think it's primarily a box system game. I know there's one that's straight up that, but I think Channel has a little bit extra to it, but it's not a whole lot. So we'll probably do a little bit of that, and then F-Zero's be most of the stream.
Can't wait for them to proving us wrong.
Yeah. Saturday will be us with the new seed because Mario vs. Donkey Kong decided no, and then Kingdom Hearts decided quickly afterwards no.
Yep.
And then next Sunday will be us continuing Code User. And I think 2019 stuff will be starting this week on the YouTube. We are getting there, folks. I think uploads are going to slow down a little bit because I won't be doing 2 videos per slot, just because there won't be pre-shows next year for like the 2019 stuff, but we're getting there. I might just be able to just schedule a lot more in bulk. Rather than, I've scheduled 8 videos and only covered 2 days, and I don't want to schedule anymore. So if you like what you see, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube chat gets the YouTube archive for this and all of our other streams. Exclamation point social and chat gets your handles for our social media so you know go live. Exclamation point Discord and chat. This link, drop by and say hi. We'll see you Thursday, folks.